God's plan. God's plan. I hold back sometimes.
All right, y'all. So welcome back to another episode of Math Talk with Mr. Faison, and I'm Mr. Faison. All right. On today's episode, what we're doing is adding fractions. So we look over and we start off with number 1. We have 3/8 plus 1/8. Now the thing is, when we see problems like this, one thing we have to understand: well, any addition or subtraction fraction problem, we have to understand this. We need our denominators to be the same. So right here we see 3/8 and 1/8. This is good, and this makes the problem extremely easy because our denominators are the same. So with that being said, when we see our denominators are the same, what we can do is just make that our denominator. All right? Now the only thing we have to do is, in this case, they want us to add. So all we have to do is add the numerators. We have 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1, y'all know is 4. So we have 4/8. So is this our answer? No, it's not. Actually, what we have to do is we have to reduce it. So we learned how to reduce it in our GCF video. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick little refresher, right? And we're going to do it with this one. So we have 4/8. What we need to do is we need to find the GCF of this, the greatest common factor between this 4 and this 8. So if I come up here and I write out 4 and I write out 8 and I write out my factors, right, of 4. Factors are numbers I can multiply to get 4. So I'm looking at 1, 2, and 4. All right? I'm looking at factors for 8. What numbers can I multiply to get 8? I can multiply 1. 1 times 8 will give me 8. And 2 times 4 will give me 8. Right? So what I'm doing is I want to find my greatest common factor. I see they have common factors in 1 and 1. Right? They also have common factors in 2 and 2. Those are common factors. But what is my greatest common factor? My greatest common factor would be 4. All right? So what do I do with this 4? I bring it down here and I divide by 4. Top and bottom. All right? Now this will give me 1/2, which is a half. Right? So that's our answer for number 1. Let's move on to problem number 2. Now when I'm looking at problem number 2, I'm actually looking at 2 mixed numbers. Remember, a mixed number is a fraction that has a whole number and a proper fraction. It has to be a proper fraction. A whole number and an improper fraction does not exist. Hopefully y'all going to be telling y'all that. All right? So what I have is 2 1/5 and 1 2/3, right? Remember, what I said is I need my denominators to be the same. So this is 1/5 and this is 2/3. Those denominators are not the same. This is where the LCM comes into play, right? The LCM, least common multiple. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the least common multiple of these. I'm gonna write down the multiples here, right? So if I got 3 and I have 5. So when we talk about multiples, when I'm talking about the multiples of 3, it's like 3, 6, 9. You get what I'm saying? So let's write that out. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. All right? So now when I want to write out my multiples of 5, I'm going to do 5, 10, 15, 20. All right? Now what we're looking for is the least common multiple. All right? So for 1, I'm looking for common multiples. The only common multiple I see in here is 15. And if I kept going, they would eventually have another multiple together, right? But we're looking for the least common multiple. So the one that's going to pop up first. So it'll be 15. Now that I know it's 15, what I do next is this. I need to turn this 3 into a 15, and I need to turn this 5 into a 15. How do I do that? Take this walk with me. Come on. All right? What I'm going to do is to turn this 5 into a 15, I'm going to multiply it by 3. All right? Now, whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So I'm going to multiply that by 3 as well. This now will become 3/15. All right? Now I want to turn this 3 into a 15. The only way for me to do that is by multiplying this 3 by 5. So I will be asking you, what can I multiply 3 by to make it 15? And you will be telling me 5. And whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. This will now become 10/15. So now what I'm looking at is my denominators are the same. 15 and 15. Remember what I told you. Now I can just bring this 15 down, and now I can just add my numerators, 3 and 10, which will give me 13. And what I'm going to do is Now I can add my whole numbers. All right. Now what I can do is I can add my whole numbers, 2 and 1, which give me 3. And then we'll have 3 over 15. Also, what I want y'all to understand is this too. Yes, my answer is 3 over 15, but sometimes you might have to reduce this. All right, sometimes we might have to reduce that. So in this case, we do not have to reduce that. So this will be our answer right here. Well, hey man, that's another episode of Math Talk with Mr. Faison. Thanks for tapping in. See y'all next time.
God's plan. God's plan.